Welcome into Argo Sports Weekly. Will Kennedy along with UWF men's head basketball coach Jeff Burkhammer. Another week, and we start off talking about hoops. You guys had a pretty good week last week, 2-1 on the week. Really close to being 3-0 on the week, and really finished it off with a great win against Mississippi College. Kind of just assess for us where you are at this point in the season a little bit, even up in conference play now, and kind of where this team is headed.
Well, I think we're getting better, and that was the goal at the beginning of the year, was to get better with so many new guys, just week by week, try to make steps, and we've done that. We this past week playing Montebello, who's 7-0 in the league, to a 2-point game. Really had a chance to win the game at the end. Just didn't get quite as good a shot as we wanted, and then we get 2 more wins this week over Delta State and Mississippi College, and 2 home games that we played pretty well in. And we just going to continue to get better, and I think we've done that from the start of the year.
Finding those rotations, I know, finding out who can give you what at certain times of the year, and you've added Brett Carter Jr.'s back into the lineup as well. And I know early on, and back into November and December, a little bit of a struggle. You didn't have all the bodies that you wanted. Now it looks like you've got kind of your full complement.
Well, we've got everybody playing now. We don't have anybody hurt. Nobody's out with any reasons. So it's nice to have everybody available. And then we've made changes here or there. We've done some different things offensively, defensively, because of personnel that we have. And because of that, we're playing better.
We're going to talk with Tarik McKelphin coming up a little bit later in the program here, but I know you coming into the season, you knew John Brown was going to be good, and he has been, certainly averaging better than 19 points a game. Teams obviously are going to look to take that away from you a little bit. Who are the guys besides Tarik that need to step in and kind of alleviate some of that pressure?
Well, Tarik's been one of the guys. He's really played well lately. I think he's got a better feel for what we're doing. He's attacking great. He's just so athletic. He just makes a lot of things happen, whether it be on the offensive glass or in transition. But we had to have some other guys step in and help us. Lawrence Williams is a guy that can make shots. I think Chinadu has really done a good job down inside of scoring a little bit for us. Cameron has been really good. Cameron Cox has done a great job of being a floor general and running our team and not turning it over, and getting some. He had 9 assists and 0 turnovers against Mississippi College, just being a good floor general. And then bringing Brett in off the bench gives us shooting. Sofield has been really good at shooting the ball. So we've had different guys in different games, sometimes depending on matchups and how teams are playing, but it's nice to have some different options.
Do you like having that ability now? You mentioned everybody's healthy, and you've got some guys that can do some different things, things whether it's shooting from the outside or that athleticism. So as you match up in the GSC, you just touched on it. It's like a boxing match, right? You got to match styles a little bit.
Well, we look at matchups and who's guarding who, and maybe who we can take advantage of defensively, attack their worst defensive players, and who is really maybe playing well, who's shooting the ball well. If we come down and Daniel hits 2 threes, we're going to run something probably for him to get another look. John's beating the guy off the bounce. They can't guard him off the dribble. We're probably going to run some type of isolation to get into the basket again. So we're just looking at different ways to score. And we've struggled scoring at times, so it's important that we find those matchups and take advantage of them.
You would probably, I know, describe yourself as old school a little bit, right? You like that mentality of let's get tough and play some defense. I thought against Mississippi College in the game on Saturday, you guys did a nice job of really making everything difficult for the Choctaws. Is that kind of the mentality that you're preaching for this team for defense?
Well, I think we have to be good defensively because we haven't been great offensively. You're scoring 60-some points a game, and you got to be good defensively in order to win those games. And we've done some different things with our pressing and back to our zone, and changing into our man-to-man stuff a little bit, change how we guard out of our man-to-man. But our defense has been pretty good. We held Mississippi College under 30% in both halves. I think confused them with some things, and really was proud of how hard our guys played and how well we played defensively.
Even though they've been around, Connor and Chinadu and some of the guys that were missing last year, I mean, they've been around the facility, been around the program. It's almost like having a new team in a lot of ways, isn't it? As far as getting some guys back into the flow, and specifically Connor, it looks like he's still trying to get back to where he was.
Well, offensively, he's fine. He's shooting the ball really well, and it's just the quickness factor in his position. You play the 4 spot, there's a lot of athletic guys, and he's struggling more defensively than the offensive side of the ball. That's something he's got to continue to work on, and he'll get better with that as the year goes and as his career goes. But that's where he's really got to work. But having him and Chin back both have helped us.
As you get into January, middle of January here, it becomes that conference flow every week, where you're playing those 2 games. And it's on the road this week as you go to Shorter and West Georgia. Mentality-wise, do you like where this team is and kind of the way they're gelling as a team?
Well, Will, we've played really the top of the league so far. You look at the guys we've played Valdosta, we've played Montebello, we've played Huntsville. We've played Union, we've played Lee, we've played all the tough teams. And now we're getting to the other half of the league a little bit, and we got to take care of ourselves here. We've done okay against the top half, probably about 500 against those guys, and now we're getting into games that we got got to win to separate ourselves to give us a chance to play in the postseason.
7-8 overall, 4-4 in conference play, 2 on the road, then back here. You guys have been really good at home, and 6-2 here in the field house in this building. Is it kind of like now we got to get these road wins?
Yeah, we got to get the road wins. And we're playing 2 teams I feel like that we can compete well with. We got to go in with the right mentality. Go in knowing that they're important games. The shorter games, the most important game of the year because it's the next game, but it's also an important game in our league for us to continue to get separation with some of those teams. So we've got to have a great mentality going in there, a toughness going in there, execute what we're doing. They score the ball, so we have to do a good job defensively and controlling tempo and making sure we get what we want.
Tell your team, Coach Jeff Burkhammer, that it's your birthday this week, so they need to make sure that they get you the right presents, and those are victories on the road.
Yeah, having the 2 wins last week was great. That helped going into the birthday, and now hopefully we can have 2 afterward.
Be like my wife. It's your birthday month, so they just have to give you gifts.
That's exactly right.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next, we'll spend a little time with a guy who has mad hops, as the kids say, with Tarik McKelphin right here on Argo Sports Weekly.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
What does Argo Spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. It's time to talk a little hoops, and we always like to get to know some of our student athletes here. Tarik McKelphin is with us now. You had a pretty good week last week, right? This young man had a big game, 20 plus points, and a big win over Mississippi College, but more importantly, knocked down a walk-off free throw in a win last Thursday night. I got to ask you about that first, because that really is, and I said it on the broadcast, one of those things where as an athlete, as a kid growing up, you're always thinking about, if I get that opportunity, how's that going to work out? What was going through your mind?
I was really nervous. My teammates would put more pressure on me, telling me, hey, come on, don't miss it. This is the dub. But like you said, that's something I always dreamed about as a kid, making the game-winning shot, and I just focused on the free throw and it went in.
You had that big week last week. What's it been like kind of getting into the rhythm here for you? I know, the beginning of the season, you guys were trying to find different rotations, who was going to play where, and that kind of thing. Looks like for you, though, this last couple of games, you've really found your sweet spot.
It was a hard adjustment transferring from JUCO, where, it was a lot more free, a lot of penetrate, kick, a lot of movement. And, coming here at West Florida, it's a lot more sets as far as offensively. So just trying to remember plays and, doing anything Coach Burke wants us to do, that was just the hardest part.
I know sometimes there's a little bit of a road to get somewhere, right? And you were telling me, we were talking before we started the segment here, how'd you get here to the University of West Florida, Pensacola? Because you were born in Louisiana, ended up in Florida, and then eventually wound your way here.
They started recruiting me my senior year of high school, and I had some issues academically, and I decided to try to go NAIA to focus on getting my academics up. And once I went there, my academics went up. But Coach Bennett was still recruiting me, telling me that JUCO might be my best option. And I went to JUCO, had a pretty good year, and wound up here.
Yeah, good place to be right here. What are your impressions of Pensacola so far?
It's an amazing place. It's a lot of things to do over here. It's a pretty good place just to do stuff, go to the beach, and just go out and have fun.
For you now, for those who haven't seen Tarik play before, I joke about this. It's like you got a trampoline down there or a pogo stick in your back pocket or something. This young man could jump a little bit. Have you always been able to do that?
I actually have. I started ducking in 8th grade, so it just carried over, and every year I got a little bit more bouncy.
So you're looking for that opportunity, obviously, and
yeah.
for you, I've noticed on rebounds especially, it looks as if, I know this is a physical impossibility, that you are actually hanging in the air at times. Does it feel that way?
It does not, honestly. I feel like everybody is exaggerating when they say it, but I just try to get the board and hopefully get a putback. That's all I be worried about, is trying to get the putback dunk.
You come to a place like University of West Florida, we talk a lot on this show about the strength and conditioning staff, and I know for them, that explosive movement, working with you guys on that to take a God-given ability and take it even to the next level. How's that been for you here?
Oh, it's been really good. That's actually the biggest reason why I wanted to come here. I feel like it was a lot more professional, seeing, Jake and how he was really interactive with the players and always, encouraging them. And, obviously seeing them lift weights and seeing, the stuff they do, I felt like it was only going to take my game to the next level.
You guys are on a hot streak right now, back-to-back wins, looking to take that into next week and go on the road and play up in Georgia a little bit. Is what we saw against Mississippi College, especially, is that kind of where the ceiling is? Is that what you guys can be when you come out and play at that level?
I feel like we can be a lot better. I feel we have a lot of players on the bench who can really come in and do a lot more things, but, they're going through the thing I went through when I first came, trying to adapt and, just make that adjustment from coming from where they came from. But I feel like we have a lot of potential as far as how we can play.
For Tarik McKelphin, what do you do when you're not on the court? When you're not having to study and get those grades and everything, what do you like to do to unwind a little bit, relax?
Watch Netflix, play video games with my teammates, and talk to some friends.
Give me your number one show that you watch on Netflix. What are you binging?
That's tough. I'll probably say the show You.
That's a good one. What about video games? What do you like to play?
Oh, I'm really good with Call of Duty right now.
There you go. You guys get together and play as a team, or are you trying to take out your teammates?
The whole team. We always playing together.
All right. Thanks for spending a little time with us. Good luck with it next week. Coming up next, we're going to dive into women's hoops and talk about with Coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton about what's coming up for the Lady Argos this week, right here on Argo Sports Weekly.
Real change occurs in that split second.
A moment of connection among people.
Change is inclusive.
Change is collaborative.
Change is transformative.
Change connects. Who will you connect with?
What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
For those who measure success by the worn tread on their tires, and those who strengthen their body and mind and drift through their weekends over nature's current. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. Joining us now is Coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton with UWF women's basketball team. And Coach, let's just start off. Congratulations, you got your first conference win. I know, a little tough going early in the GSC campaign, but that was a heck of a victory over Mississippi College.
That victory was a long time coming. But the nice thing about it was that was a victory against a very good team. Mississippi College came in here with a winning record. They've been playing really good basketball. And we settled in and played some good basketball for the full 40 minutes of the game. Had a great scoring and shooting night, and I think it's something we can build on.
That's always interesting, I think, as a coach, isn't it, to kind of see where your ceiling can be, and I know that's something that you have to kind of work on week in and week out. Sometimes it happens pretty quickly. Was that kind of the all-around game that you were looking for?
You know what, we still had our kind of bad news bear moments. We had a couple of those. But overall, I think we had some tremendous play out of some players that really stepped their game up. We needed that to happen. Danielle Norquist, who had been leading our team, fouled out early in the game. Then Fannie Holmey fouled out. And we just had to have players come in and finish the game for us. Great effort by Charlotte Ellmore. She carried our team that last 2 minutes offensively. Rachel McCree stepped up and hit some big-time free throws, and then we were able to go down and get some really good defensive stops.
You're playing with 8 because of injuries and other things, and so I noticed I came through the gym, you guys are practicing. You're having to pull in some past players and some other bodies just to have enough to go with 10.
Well, we started this year trying to recruit some male practice players, and we've got a handful of those. Now, those guys can't be here every day because of class schedules, or maybe they can only be here for a short portion of the practice. But we've got graduate assistants that step out. We've got a couple of former players that are still students that will step in. And even I'm stepping in there and playing a little dummy defense and a little dummy offense when we need to. So it takes a village. And our village has expanded this year on the basketball court. So if you ever step in and pop your head into a practice, you're not going to see just the players working out. It's going to be a whole slew of faces that are helping make this possible.
Some people's entire careers consist of playing dummy defense, but that's a whole other thing. You don't get swept away, right? You realize your limitations when you're out there still?
I recognize my limitations. The knees and ankles don't move like they used to, and I just cannot go down with an injury right now this season.
On the road this week, Georgia Swing, Shorter, and West Georgia. And you guys have a clinic coming up for kids locally.
Yeah, Monday, January 20th on MLK Day. Boys and girls, grades 1 through 8. 8:30 a.m. till 12 noon. Come in here. It's $25, but the money goes toward our fundraising efforts for our team trip to Panama in August. But our players, our coaches are going to be in the gym. If you're looking to get yourself introduced to basketball, or if you're looking to just work on those skills, we'll have some advanced level teaching and we'll have some beginner teaching all in that same day. But it should be a fun day.
All right, good luck this week. Look forward to that clinic coming up next here on Argo Sports Weekly. We'll spend a little time with Charlotte Ellmore.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
A shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. Each week we like to spend a little time with the student athletes, get to know some of our players and our Argos a little bit better. This is Charlotte Ellmore, and Charlotte is not from around these parts, right?
No.
You've had one of the longer journeys to get here, although you've got some teammates that have come from different places. Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from London, England, so just across the pond.
And circuitous route to get here. You were in San Antonio, Texas, right? How did you end up in Pensacola, Florida?
So I wanted to transfer from Texas. It just wasn't the right fit for me. I didn't have anything against I'm grateful for the coach's opportunity and everything, but it just wasn't the right place. And then I reached out to West Florida and I met Coach Shelton, and it just seemed like the right fit. And I think, so far it's been the right choice.
That's part of the battle, right? Finding the right place to be. Now, so the question I would have is basketball in London, England, in the UK, not traditionally the number one sport. How did you kind of fall into playing hoops?
So obviously soccer's like massive out there, and I used to play soccer from a young age, and then we also have a game called netball, and I used to play that. So my dad coached soccer, my mum coached netball, and I was like, I'm going down the middle, I'm going basketball, because I don't want to be coached by either of them. So that's how I ended up playing basketball.
Always trying to run away from mom and dad. There you go. Now netball's a different thing. We may have to we have to have you show us how to play that at some point. But learning the game over there, trying to find places to play, I'm sure, where to get instruction and coaching. Was it difficult?
It's more difficult than here. I mean, being in London, it was a lot easier than being more rural. And but I was really lucky. I found a really good coach in Mark Clark, and still to this day he still speaks to me, and he made me the player I am today. Really, he was one of the best coaches I've ever had.
As you developed your game and you got the chance to come to the States and play, was that kind of a big jump? Was it a big adjustment to come over?
Yeah, so I moved out of home when I was 16, so I'm kind of used to not living with my parents, but still it's kind of a far away. So when I first moved to America, it was very hard to adjust, but now I'm learning the language and all the different aspects of America.
It helps. You've got French teammates and Finnish teammates. Of course, they got the language barrier is a little different for them, although for you, at least, the Southern English is a little different than English, right?
Yeah.
What about adjustment as far as school is concerned? And tell everybody what you're studying and kind of how that process has gone.
So at the moment I'm in business. I'm hoping to go into management. I think it's very different school here to England. We're very exam based in England, whereas here it's more like a rounded homework and everything. So I definitely prefer it this way, but yeah, I really have to get used to it.
So you got the cool accent. You come over to people ask you if you went to Hogwarts, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No?
All the time. I mean, I get, do you want a cup of tea, or hello mate, and all this.
People try their horrible British accents out on you.
I get all the time, especially the baseball team.
That's the way it works. And you like baseball?
Yeah, I do like baseball. I'm American football first, and then I'll go baseball.
So it's always important to ask someone who's from the UK who they support. And you and I have already had this discussion, but you're London, and there are several soccer teams in London. Tell everybody who your team is.
I'm an Arsenal supporter. My dad was, so I am.
A gunner, right?
A gunner all the way. We're not doing great this season.
And I'm Tottenham, so this is a little unusual. I have to stand close to somebody here, but we're good on that.
Yeah.
What do you look to accomplish this season? What's your goals?
You know, I think I want to carry on this momentum that we have right now, and especially me as a player. I think, you know, coming off that game really has given me more confidence, and I want to carry it on for the rest of the season and hopefully bring more wins.
What was it about that Mississippi College game that kind of maybe in your mind got you to where you want to be?
You know, I think I had the more drive, more aggressiveness in my game, which I think helped me get to the basket, and I think Dan and Fanny going off, you know, kind of put me in the way. I had to be the one who took charge and take control, and I think I proved that at the end, you know, making some shots.
What is the worst British food that you've had? Have you tried haggis? I'll ask you that first.
No, that's Scottish.
Bangers and mash now?
The worst English food is probably black pudding, which is like pig's blood.
Something different, yeah. If you go over, enjoy that. Charlotte, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. Good luck the rest of the season. Coming up next here, we'll dive into the pool with UWF Swimming and Diving right here on Argo Sports Weekly.
Real change occurs in that split second.
A moment of connection among people.
Change is inclusive.
Change is collaborative. Change is transformative.
Change connects. Who will you connect with?
What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
What does Argo Spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/about us.
Welcome back into Argo Sports Weekly. Of course, we're talking a lot of hoops here on the program this week, but basketball is not the only sport in play here in the winter season. Even though it's cold outside, maybe, depending on where you are, it's always warm in the UWF Aquatic Center here. And the swimming and diving teams had their senior day this last weekend. On Friday afternoon, they brought in 2 different opponents for a meet. Let's dive into the pool for some highlights there. This is one of those tri-meets where you had Hendrix in town as part of this, and also a Division I opponent in Tulane University. The Argos had 2 swimmers place first in individual events. Junior Morgan Ayers and sophomore Esther Rossetto, a friend of the show, winning the 100 breast, and then Rossetto taking the 50 free and the 100 free there. And also a relay team did a nice job with Ayers and Rossetto, Aubrey Miller, and Stephanie Marquardt winning the 400 medley relay. The divers also very strong in the pool as well as they win their meet. Kelsey DeJesus winning both diving events at the meet on Friday, the 3-meter and the 1-meter as well. UWF beats Hendrix College and then loses fairly narrowly to Tulane, but again, a Division I opponent there. After the meet, we caught up with Coach Phil Kraus and winning diver Kelsey DeJesus.
I thought today both swimmers and divers did a great job. Kelsey DeJesus did a great job on the board, winning both boards. The other divers looked good as well. Swimmers, we came off a really hard week and really tired last week, pretty sore. This week they came back and still working hard. It was great, but then they actually stepped up their game quite a bit today.
I feel really good. I'm really proud of not only myself, but my teammates too. I think this is a really good meet for all of us because we've been practicing really hard since we've been back, and it's been kind of a rough 2 weeks, but I'm really proud of how this meet turned out, especially since this last home meet with our senior diver too.
The Argos will head up to Birmingham next. That's a dual meet taking on Birmingham Southern and Montevallo. This week on our UWF Athletics vlog, the M&Ms, Maya and Megan Grace, they're going to dive into the pool a little bit and then also test their skills on the court.
Hey guys, welcome back to another UWF Athletics vlog. I'm Maya Clark.
And I'm Megan Grace Gibson.
And we are about to have a rematch of our basketball game.
A couple weeks back, me and Maya went head to head. I won.
Only by 1.
Maya was inspired by our win against Delta State tonight, so she wants a rematch. So
I
we're gonna
do.
give it to you. All right, Maya, well, I think we need to warm up a little bit.
I agree.
It's been a while since we last played.
It has.
Something just feels really off. What was it that Cam told me about dribbling?
If you want to make it look better, you gotta be a little loose with it. You gotta throw a little your own flavor into it. You gotta throw some sauce into it. There you go. Then it's throw it. There you go. Yep, there you go. You got it. You're natural.
Oh, duh. He told me to add the sauce.
I got to get a couple shots in to warm up, and then we can get started. Nailed it. I think that's the only thing I need to do to warm up. Let's go.
Same rules as last time. We're gonna have 30 seconds to shoot as many baskets as we can. How many did you get?
I got 2.
I got 3. Alrighty, so hate to say it, love to say it, but I won again. Me and Maya both improved though. We both got 2 more points than we did the first time we played, so I'm proud of both of us. So anyways, the swim and dive team, they taught me how to dive, so let's go check that out. Hey Argos, I'm here with Danny and Emily from the swim and dive team, and today they're gonna be teaching me step by step on how to dive. All right, so the first step to learning how to dive is we're gonna start with some stretches. So we're all stretched out. What's the next step? Wall work. Sounds exciting. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I do? And like, please be honest.
Like a 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was
7.
really good. Like the top was good. You were high enough.
Thank you. I'm really trying hard to impress you guys, so hopefully I can be recruited on the team. So that's my goal here. What's the next step for me?
You're gonna do a dive, like actually on your head.
I'm gonna dive. Okay, cool. All right, let's dive in. Just decided I'm gonna dive off the high dive, and what can I say except I'm doing it for the vlog. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for teaching me how to dive. Literally had no experience before this, so hopefully everyone watching enjoys me trying to learn how to dive.
Megan Grace, you're just the all-around athlete. What can we say? You can dive, you can play basketball, really a great competitor.
Thank you.
But guys, that's all we have for this vlog, so we'll see you next week.
Go Argos.
Lots going on here on campus. Of course, we're just a few weeks away from the start of the spring sports seasons as well, with baseball, softball, golf, and a ton of other stuff going on. We'll have our spring sports preview day. If you're in the Pensacola area, that'll be this Friday coming up on the 17th at Seville Quarter in downtown Pensacola. 11:30 start for that. Swing on by and check that out and join us for that lunchtime event. And of course, as always, GoArgos.com is your home for all UWF athletics information. We've got your schedules, your results, and features that we put right here on the show as well. That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you again next week right here on Argo Sports Weekly.